Hi. Hola.
Hi, here's Mr. Dozy.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Magista Obra 2 in the latest Pitch Dark Pack colorway. Now included with the shoes inside the box is a string bag, black in color with total crimson strings and Magista branding there on the front. And then of course with the bag, you get the shoes themselves, which I have right here. A lot less flashy than the initial launch color, mostly black with an orange accent, something that a lot of people really want in any brand new release, something that is a little bit more low profile. So that's kind of what Nike has given us, with this being part of the Pitch Dark pack, just being a later release because obviously that pack came out prior to the official launch of the Obra 2. So in today's video, we are going to take a closer detailed look at the colorway itself. We're going to talk tech specs, performance features, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more about the new Obra 2 in the Pitch Dark pack colorway, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen and a link in the description that'll take you directly to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $300 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, little pop-up on screen, link in the description, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, just like the rest of the Pitch Dark pack, this shoe is mostly black in color with kind of a vibrant color as an accent, which you have in the outline of the Nike swoosh on both sides, as well as the Magista branding running down the heel. And I guess the couple of studs there on the bottom, which are total crimson in color, which is basically just a really bright orange. So it's a nice accent color. You really can't go wrong with all black and then one accent. There are a few other things on this shoe as far as the colorway is concerned, aside from just being all black. You can see here in the weather mapped areas, at least in terms of the weather mapped areas you'd find on the launch color, on the outside of the forefoot, you can see there's a little bit of gray within the actual Flyknit itself. And then right here on the medial side, you have some gray as well, which honestly from a distance is hardly noticeable, but it is still there and is worth mentioning. It's really difficult to say as to whether or not the Nike skin covering is clear or not. In this specific area where you see the gray on both sides of the shoe, it's definitely clear, but the rest of it definitely looks like it's more of a solid black. Honestly, I can't tell. Not that it really matters anyway. The other little detail on this shoe that I thought I'd mention is the actual inside of the Nike swoosh, which appears to be black, but you can see it's a slightly different shade and texture, and that's just because it is actually a reflective material. So when it is flashed on with direct light, mainly in like a stadium lighting environment is when you're going to see it, or if you take a picture with the flash on your phone, it kind of lights up and reflects the light and gives that kind of bright white look, if that makes any sense. The ACC branding is also there, it's just difficult to see because it's black on black, but that's pretty much it as far as the colorway is concerned. Really straightforward, all black with an orange accent, looks really good. If you don't like the kind of weather map look of the launch colorway, this is obviously a lot more subtle. It kind of gives the Obra 2 a slightly different aesthetic overall, just because there's a lot less going on. It looks more simple, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. When it comes to performance, the Magista Obra 2 is a very good shoe. We're going to go over very basic information in this video, but if you guys want to see a video of me actually wearing the shoes actually for the first time ever and kind of describing what I think of it, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen to my vlog playtest video that I think offers some really good information as far as what my personal opinion is on this shoe and really what it has to offer from a performance standpoint. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. Again, there'll be a little pop-up on screen. What you really need to know with this particular shoe, or the main reason why I think a lot of people would be interested in it, is one, the Flyknit upper, and two, the mid-cut aspect of the shoe. Now the Flyknit upper is still the same material as what we got on the original Obra, but they changed a lot in that the texturing of the upper is a lot more significant this time around, not only in terms of how it looks, but also in terms of the way that it impacts your touch on the ball. You don't necessarily feel the texturing when the shoe is on your foot, but when the ball makes contact with your foot while you're wearing the shoe, the actual texturing of the upper does impact the way the ball reacts against your foot, if that makes any sense. It has kind of a dampening effect without taking away feel. which obviously is not going to improve your control. No shoe is going to improve any physical skill. That's on you, not the shoes on your feet. But the feel that it provides is very interesting, and I think something that really couldn't be achieved without this particular design and the Flyknit material. It's a really, really interesting concept that provides a truly unique playing experience, which I think is really nice. It's a nice evolution of what Flyknit can actually be. People were really excited about the first Obra and what it introduced to the market, and with the Obra 2, I really feel like they've, like I said, kind of evolved on the concept, expanded on the concept, and made something that is once again very unique and unlike anything else out there. So the upper itself has some texturing. The heavy texturing areas are a little bit harder to see on this colorway because it is mostly black, but the parts where you have the little gray on the medial side and on the lateral side is where the texturing is the most significant. The highest points within this kind of podular texturing system is about 4.5 millimeters at the peak, and then again, once you make contact with the ball, it kind of compresses flat and it provides that dampening sensation without taking away feel, which I think is a really, really nice kind of way of having the way of feeling the ball, if that makes any sense. It does of course have a Nike Skin texturing, a Nike Skin covering on the upper, which does add a little bit of a grippy sensation on the ball along with the texturing. ACC is also part of the upper, as you're going to find on all the top end models from Nike, acting as your wet control element, but it's a pretty minor element of the shoe if I'm being completely honest with you guys. Internally there is a bit of a padded liner as well, so that does add kind of a softness to the upper in terms of touch on the ball, and then kind of as a support feature with the upper, because it is surprisingly well structured given how flexible it actually is. You do have fly wire cables that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system. You can kind of see them on this particular colorway. It's more evident on the other ones, but those fly wire cables, when you put the shoe on and pull the laces tight, do a really good job of holding your foot, locking it in place on the inside of the shoe, and giving the shoe a very responsive sensation in general. Moving on to the rear of the shoe, you do have an internal heel counter with of course the mid-cut design. Now the collar this time around, the dynamic fit collar, if we're giving it the proper name here, is a little bit different from anything else we've seen from the brand in that, one, it's rounded at the top edges on the side and then kind of dips in at the front and back. So it's supposed to be a little bit more anatomically shaped. You can also notice that it's not just straight up and down or a perfect tube anymore. It's actually kind of rounded like the shape of your ankle. So it fits really, really nicely. Again, not really a make or break feature in my opinion. It's more of just an extension piece that doesn't offer any performance benefit. It's kind of just there to provide a certain feel and a certain look, but again, there's no ankle support, there's no protection here, there's no performance gains from getting a mid-cut shoe versus a low-cut shoe. It's kind of just something that they're doing with the Flyknit concept at the moment, and there's a very high demand for it, so they're going to continue on with it as long as people still want it. Internally though, they have changed up the liner. It is now a kind of synthetic suede material, and the way that it's cut for whatever reason is significantly more comfortable on this shoe than any of the other mid-cut models from Nike at the moment. When you put these on, they don't really feel unusual. They feel kind of normal, like a normal low-cut shoe, and that's something that I really, really like about the Obra 2 in general. They feel pretty much good to go out of the box. Break-in time should be minimal given that they fit you properly. Inside there is an insole of course, which is fully removable. It features a mesh liner on top, and it's basically the same insole you're going to find from the Legend 6. It's a yellow foam material that has some decent thickness to it, and then you have pour-on foam inserts in the heel as well as in the forefoot and toe box area. So a pretty good amount of underfoot cushioning and just a more significant insole than what we got from the previous generation. And then moving on to the bottom, the sole plate is the same material as the first Obra, being kind of like a compressed nylon. But it is a little bit more flexible this time around. It still has some decent rigidity to it as far as just kind of having a slightly stiffer sensation for the sake of, I guess, giving the shoe more of a solid feel, but it does get more flexible as you wear them in. And again, really no complaints in regards to the sole plate at all. It feels pretty good. And then of course you do have the new stud pattern, which is focused around rotational traction, kind of an in-between of what you're going to get from the Hypervenoms and the Tiempo line, if that makes any sense. Not quite as aggressive as the Hypervenoms, and a little bit more aggressive than what you're going to find from the Tiempo line. It's kind of the same layout still, but the studs, instead of being perfect conical shaped studs, are kind of like these half circle shaped studs. So you get kind of a bladed conical stud hybrid, if that makes any sense. Honestly, the feel's not that different from the Tiempo stud pattern if I'm comparing it to anything, but I would say it's a little bit more aggressive. The studs are slightly shorter than what you're going to find from the Tiempo stud pattern, which keeps you slightly closer to the ground. Stability feels very good, and as you would expect, it does have that ability to kind of twist and pivot when your foot is planted, which is kind of what they designed this stud pattern around in the first place. So performance-wise, it's nothing incredible, but it definitely does get the job done, and on firm natural grass, you're unlikely to have any issues at all. In terms of weight, the Obra 2 is on the lighter side of things, so for the sake of this video, I'm going to weigh them for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. We're going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.55 ounces, the equivalent of 214 grams. So again, in comparison to the original Obra, it's up about 0.25, 0.3 ounces, which is a very small amount of weight that you're really not going to notice on your feet. So I wouldn't say that that is kind of a big change. And for comparison's sake as well, that's kind of on par with something like a Hypervenom Phantom 2, which is a shoe that nobody complains about when it comes to weight. So again, from a weight standpoint, these are on the lighter side of things. Are there lighter shoes out there? Absolutely, but I think somebody who's interested in the Obra 2 in the first place probably isn't too concerned about having the lightest possible shoe. All right, so here is a look at the Obra 2s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock black laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of Orange Punch reflective SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen, as well as a link in the description that'll take you directly to the website. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check it out. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they're actually very, very comfortable from right out of the box. The overall shape of the shoe is a touch wider than what we got from the previous generation of Magistas, but they aren't really going to stretch. With that said, I think these will be suitable for most foot types. They'll fit most people pretty comfortably. The upper is soft against your foot. It's flexible enough, and it does soften up a little bit as you wear them in. The fit in the heel, being that this is a mid-cut model, feels very normal. There's no slippage. You're very secure. There's no real chafing or any kind of discomfort or unnecessary pressure at the back of your heel. It just feels kind of like a normal pair of kind of low-cut soccer cleats, if that makes any sense. And like I said, they're comfortable out of the box. Not too much to complain about in that regard. Width-wise, like I mentioned, they're going to be suitable for most foot types. They have some decent width through the midfoot and forefoot area. The toe box is a little bit more snug, but again, as long as you don't have extremely wide feet, these will be suitable for most people. And in regards to sizing, the Magista line runs about a half size small. So if you're coming from previous Magista models, stick with the same size. But for me, being that this does run a half size small, instead of my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Pitch Dark Pack Nike Magista Obra 2. Again, if you're interested in more info or are interested in a pair for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description, or you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen. On that page, you will find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $300 retail price. If you have any questions at all regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.